Los Angeles. It's that time, man. It's Monday, May 3rd, 6 o'clock. You ain't got nowhere to be but here with me on the weekly tap in, and I'm tapping in. You already know the business. Share your city. Put it in those comments right here. Make sure you guys subscribe to the podcast. Show some love. Leave me a review if you can. It's all love. So what I'm going to do, go ahead and share with my audience. Turn that down. Share with my audience. We got to share, dog, so we can spread the message. They may not get it right now, but they will. You know what I'm saying? Because we drop game, book suggestions, software suggestions, you name it, homie. We dropping it. So I'm going to go ahead and share with my audience. Real easy to do. Share. Then we'll wait a little bit. Go ahead and get started. So how is everybody? I don't see the comments yet, but I know they're coming in. So let's go ahead, rep your city. Go ahead, put it where you need to put it. We're in Los Angeles. Weather's nice and breezy. It's about 70-something degrees. It's going to be 80 tomorrow. We got a tour tomorrow. So hopefully, if you're in the city, you get a chance to take that tour tomorrow. Special Tuesday. It's our last Tuesday of the summer. We're moving into Sundays. So, yeah, we're still doing 3 days a week. We'll just be doing Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So my weekends are consistent of driving around the city. So if you're coming to L.A., make sure you check out Mentors LA. Oh, right here, mentorsla.com. Rep your city, yo. Put it down in the comments. We need comments, man. Where you tapping in from? Told y'all where I'm at. Right by the 110, homie. You know LA. Make sure you guys come check it out. LA is about to be lit. Everything ain't all the way open just yet, but it's starting to open. So concerts, you name it, homie. We ready to get into this beach water. That's what we trying to do. See, I'm representing the Chicken Brand PA. I see you, homeboy. Yes, indeed. Y'all in the building. I see you, Philly. Are you in Philly? I don't know if you're in Philly, but I know in PA. I got people out there in Norristown. You know what I'm saying? My folks checking in. Appreciate you, Jay. So today, somebody calling me right now for the business. Today we talking about mental success, right? How success is 99% mental. So that's our subject for today. And we're going to get into it, man. I got a book suggestion for you guys, man. The Power of the Subconscious Mind. So we're talking about the Harrisburg. All right, now. I'll see you, homie. Yeah, salute. So we're going to get into that and talk about how our mental state of mind is critical to our success. A lot of people don't realize that. You know what I'm saying? You got to be mentally strong and have yourself mentally together in order to handle success. Where you see a lot of people breaking down once they achieve a certain level of success, or they don't know where they're going, right? They don't have any direction or where they need to be, right? And most of it starts with your mental state, what you see, what's in your mind, right? What do you believe about yourself, right? Because everything is belief. I shouldn't be here right now, right? Everything I have, my wife, my kids, this was all visualized before I got it, like all of it. And if you listen to the Jay Prince interview, it's prayer, homie. It's prayer. You got to pray for stuff. I pray for all this stuff. Everything that I got right now, I pray for. Everything started with a prayer and a belief. So one thing I know, and just by reading all my cats who talk about success and all that stuff, mental, not conditions, not circumstances. That's irrelevant where you are at this time and what you have. Even if you don't have shit, that doesn't matter. What matters is what you believe, right? Do you still believe that you're supposed to have that bag? Do you still believe you're supposed to have that house? You got to really, really believe it, and you'll get it some magical way. I don't know what happens, homie. I can't even tell you the science, dog. I cannot tell you the science. I don't know the science behind it. All I know is it's true. Whether you believe it or not, you're right. Ain't that some shit? Whether you believe it or not, you're right. So if you don't believe something is real, it won't be. You believe something is real, it'll be tangible as I don't know what. You can touch it. because that's how strong the mind is, right? Matrix, all that stuff, you guys think that shit is fixed, man. Mind is the strongest thing we have. It's created all this stuff we have. And the primitive minds created stone and shit. We creating videos. Anybody who lived long enough, I'm 44, homie. So I remember when cell phones were bricks and digital analog, right? Analog shit, right? You know what I'm saying? And now look at this. Videos, HD. This is all from somebody's mind, right? There wasn't no book of instructions. This is how you build cell phones. This is how you build airplanes. This is how you build all this technology, Bluetooth. There wasn't no manuals. We created the manuals out of our minds, homie. San Antonio checking in. I see you, homie. Appreciate you, cats. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate you, Derek. Appreciate you, Earl. You know what I'm saying? Jay. Everybody else, tap in. Put your city in the comments. But we created all this stuff, visualizations. Man, I tell you, man, my El Camino, the dope game, how much dope I was going to have, all this stuff was mental. I knew it. I saw it before. I remember when I was on Double Ups, I'd be like, nigga, I'm going to be the Birdman. I'm going to be the zip guy. Just dropping off zips, because that's who I grew up seeing was the zip man. The homies. You know what I'm saying? Bag up 20-something zips and go hit everything around San Diego. That's who I grew up seeing. Southeast and East Dago. Peoria, man, I see y'all, man. Sir Charles, salute, homeboy. Appreciate you checking in, Earl. D-Town. Love it, man. Love it. But that's real. How many of you guys visualize the same shit? All the shit you got. Like housing, cars, girl. I want this type of girl. I want her to be like this. I want her to be this complexion. I want her to be, you know what I'm saying? You saw, it was all mental. Mental and speaking. People don't know how powerful their words are. Man, you could speak something into existence. You keep talking that shit, man. You're going to end up believing it. And so is everybody around you, and the universe going to start to conform. But it starts mentally here. You can't say nothing that you're not thinking. Period. So it's got to be in your mind first. A lot of times you wonder why people ain't got good advice. Ain't nothing inside good. Why? Because your internal connection or your internal drive, the thing that you're receiving, is trash. So you can't get any good ideas because your thought process is messed up. I'm sitting there talking to a family member who's constantly arguing with his girl. And we deal with this shit a lot. Girls, you know what I'm saying? They feel insecure. Like if you about to pop off, they get to popping off at the mouth. They get to doing da-da-da-da-da-da. And we start to argue with them. And it takes us away from what we're supposed to be doing. One of the things I told my son, I said, listen, homie. I said, when you get close to what you're trying to get close to, right? When you're about to make the move or take the right steps towards your destiny, the enemy is not going to be happy about that. Like the enemy's a hater right off the top. You know that's we've established that. But the hater is activated when you start to make steps towards your destiny. Just keep that in mind. They get activated and they start to do stuff. So he'll start to use people, just like that Denzel movie when he touched everything and start to turn into the devil. Do the same thing. Use your girl, use your spouse, use your mom, use your brother, use your dad, and make you flip and do permanent things on temporary situations, right? Based on that moment. And this is why we got to stay on the path, right? And you got to have the tools around you to keep you focused or get you back focused, right? You can reread these. You can relook at these videos that I have. That's part of your arsenal. You should have a podcast. You can listen to my podcast or any other ones. Part of your arsenal. And keep shit on repeat. Stuff that worked for you. You know what I'm saying? Just like them songs that motivate you in the gym. You should have some stuff that motivates you in life, that keeps you focused, that keeps you on. That's what you gotta keep them tools around you. You know what I'm saying? When you watch Denzel, he was headed west, what? With a bag of tools and a machete. You know what I'm saying? West, period. Following God's plan. And that's when that conversation goes on. That's what it's internal. When we have that intuition, when we have that something's telling me to do, something's telling you, that's God talking to you, homie. It ain't something. Something's telling me to do. Move on it. Pray on it and then move. You'll get the instructions. I've learned from the masters. Now, can't nobody tell me nothing about prayer. I understand how it works, homie. I understand how belief systems work. And I understand how if we don't have this thing together, if we got it going 100,000 different ways, Meaning I got my mom's in my ear, my girls in my ear, my bosses in my ear. Shit, you ain't gonna have time to think, dog. And you need time to sit down and figure some stuff out sometime. You need to get away. Like you can't get away with the homies. Get away and go get a room and sit there and take a pad and write shit down. You know what I'm saying? Write it down. How am I thinking? Let me figure this stuff out. I need to get away from the homies because these cats may be wanting to keep me popping to keep themselves popping, right? So they ain't going to tell me not to get out the game. They ain't going to tell me to make these kind of moves because it's going to affect them. That book I told you guys about, The Dream Giver, it talks about that. Dream Giver trying to leave a town called familiar, right? And when you leave a town called familiar, right, i.e., wherever we stay in at our neighborhoods, we affect other people. You stop selling work, shit, people's incomes start changing. Homies can't get the same ticket no more. So people don't want you to leave what you currently doing, especially if they involved or embedded some kind of way. So you gotta get away and talk to God. Go to the beach, go to some water, pray, take you a journal and write it down. And when you write it down, you talking to God direct. That's a direct, like paging him or hitting himself or SMS. When you write it down, because he reading that. You got to get your stuff off your chest. You got to get it out. If you don't get it out, you're going to internalize it. But you got to get it out, especially if it's a stress thing and you're something that you can't necessarily put together. Like, this doesn't make sense to me. Write it out. And let the universe determine it, because it's going to start to talk to you. You're going to come up with your own solution as you starting to write it down, which a lot of people don't think. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I'm going to just write. No, you're going to come up with your own solution at the same time. So when you writing it down, putting it on paper, you and the universe are starting to collab now, right? And when y'all start to collab, y'all come up with magical shit. This is what God's laboratory is. A lot of people oh, man, I got to go to church. No, you don't. You know what I'm saying? You need to collaborate with the universe. God's laboratory is literally anywhere you can get a peace of mind, because your mind is the most important thing. And once it's like pimping, right? What's the pimp do? Mind game, gone. Body doing whatever in the world I tell it to do, because I got the mind first. So your mind is the most powerful thing you have. But our input, the stuff that the people we talk to, the things we watch, the beliefs that we have based on the things that we watch and what we've heard dictate our success, right? Do we believe it's possible? Well, shit, if I keep looking at everything and everybody around me saying, nah, I might say, fuck it too. Like, nah, man, I guess that ain't gonna work either. You know what I'm saying? But if I'm around those people who are animated, who have been knocked down more than once, bounced back, dusted it off, put on a new suit and got popping again, you're going to know you can do it too. And that's part of the process. You're going to get dirty. You're going to get scraped. You know what I'm saying? My son got cracked in the ribs with a kick. He's sparring now. You know what I'm saying? He got it all. 1 week he got a bloody lip. Next week he got a bloody nose. A week later he got kicked in the rib, bruised ribs. And now he like, worst case scenarios are over with. And what's next? Now I'm going to start whooping, you know what I'm saying? So it's the same thing in life. You got to take your bumps and bruises and understand that your mental fortitude, how you handle things, how you respond to things. What Charles Swindoll say, right? 90% of your attitude versus 10% of what happens to you. You guys know the Charles Swindoll quote, because that's how it is, how I respond to it. You know what I'm saying? I could look at it as sugar or shit. It's one of the two, right? Half glass, empty. Man, I'm glad it's water in there. You know what I'm saying? And that's real. You know, when she just talking about COVID, we got so many things going on, but this opportunity, right? One of the things that trained us the best was going to prison. That one of the best training grounds for your mental capacity, capability, fortitude, you name it. Because you at the lowest point with the less amount of support, with the least you've ever had. You talk about hitting the bottom, you literally at the bottom on your back. And then when they have you sitting there, you got toilet paper and reception that you sitting there for 24 hours. I'm being pretty exact, but that's the kind of mental training that we went to. That's why you see most of us kicking it in high gear, because we're already like, man, they wouldn't even let us go to the store. They letting us go to the store? A word? Oh, for sure. And we can work with this. But I hear you, Tanisha, at the same time, there's a lot of people going through stuff who ain't never experienced this before. And it's hard. It's hard to hustle. You know what I'm saying? Stuff ain't working right. I remember droughts. This reminded me of the drought of 93. It was ill. Anybody remember that? It was horrible, terrible. Wasn't no work, wasn't no money. And if that was your only thing, you was stuck. They talking about get some weed. Like, we was professional rock dealers. I mean, we wasn't into no weed. And that's dried up and was gone. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times what happens is, and it goes back to Darwin, Charles Darwin, right? I hate to keep quoting these cats because it's probably better black scientists, but when you think about that, right? Survival of the fittest. Species die off, right? When things happen, when tragedies happen. We got to internalize and get better. Black folks, we used to hustling like this. We used to things not being in systems, right? So this ain't nothing new to us. What we need to do is change our perception, right? Everything is perception, and it goes back to what? Mental, right? We got two eyes, two ears. We need to be paying attention, and we need to be listening. And a lot of times we need to keep our mouths shut unless we're going to say something positive. That's the thing. You got to, it's difficult for me to train myself as well, to catch myself, because we don't realize how we talk ourselves out of blessings by speaking negative, right? Oh, well, you can't be positive all the time. Well, you can be quiet. You ain't got to be positive all the time, but you can damn sure be quiet, right? So if you ain't feeling it, you ain't got to contribute to the negative, right? Because it's all energy. You know what I'm saying? So you can retain, I ain't feeling, okay, I'm feeling kind of crabby. Okay, well, then go sit down somewhere in a corner. Get it together until you can contribute positive to this conversation, to this earth. Ain't nothing worse than a negative conversation or complainer. I promise you that. That's not positive at all. And a lot of times our mental shape is based on what somebody else is experiencing. And then we got to dig and dig and dig and figure out what the fuck is wrong with this cat. And you find out it's something else, right? You got, okay, well, I didn't know that was going on. And then you may feel empathy for them. But a lot of times people are talking negative because something they're going through in life and they don't know how to handle it. It could be the enemy. They don't know how to talk to them. The enemy keeps twerking them every day. Get up, complain, talk shit, fuck it. Do it over again and become that person. And that right there ain't going to take you nowhere. But if you're the type of person that believes in opportunity, right? Optimism. Man, it's a great day to be alive. I'm about to make it crack. I'm about to make it pop, or at least I'm going to die trying. One of the things I picked up from Jay Prince, get rich or die trying, homie, period. That's all we doing. What else you got to do? Spend time with your family, tap in with them, make sure that they're a priority and they know they're loved, but go hard in the pain. Not to the point of exhaustion, but to the point of there's no limits to what you can do. That's the key right there. The only limits that you have are the ones that you mentally put on yourselves. I talked to you guys about that elephant, right? Just sitting there connected to that rope as a baby. And it grows into that rope as an adult, not realizing that it possesses the strength to yank that damn stake out of the ground and kick the main dude's ass in one whoop. But mentally, it's been trained not to move. And mentally, we've been trained not to move, right? We come from the no era, right? Our parents weren't necessarily just super motivators. Why? Because their parents weren't super motivators. So we didn't have that. Of course you can do it. Go kick down doors. Some of us did, but a lot of us were experiencing the same doubts that our parents have, and they passed those doubts down to us. And we accept them and embrace them almost like a religion. You know what I'm saying? All right, Mississippi, I see you, homeboy. What's up, Clark? Always loyal, man. I appreciate you, doggy. But that's us. We get these ideas passed down, right? And a lot of times our mental states, the way we handle problems, the way we motivate ourselves, the way we talk to others is based on who we were raised by, fortunately or unfortunately, right? It's a lot of that, right? We sound like our parents. Like, damn, I sound like you know what I'm saying? You got to check yourself sometimes. Like, damn, I sound just like my parents. Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing. My grandmother was one that believed in movement, knew I could do it, talked to me, or spoke life into me constantly, right? So a lot of that stuff, the stuff that I do now, I'm constantly having her in the front of my mind. Of course you could do a sport. She just called me sport. Hey, sport, yeah, of course you. If anybody, and would always call me for stuff to fix stuff, but just always instill confidence in me. So a lot of times we got to find that one person in our family that can do that. You know what I'm saying? All right, CJ, Tulsa in the building. Salute, salute. Appreciate you, homeboy. Always tapping in, man. CJ, the crypto cat, man. Tap in with CJ. Y'all want to learn about that cryptocurrency, man. Work people that you said that start going to be a bad that kind of work feeling. Yeah. And see, that's the thing. To me, you got to think the gym is another great tool. Because a lot of times we need to get our bodies moving. When we feel crabby, when we feel stressed, when we feel strained, it's because we're not exercising. Our bodies should be in movement. We got to go hit the gym. Take it out on somebody. You come out feeling amazing. Endorphins popping. All right, Little Rock, I see you. Anthony, man, appreciate you, homie. Salute, man. But yeah, we get these endorphins popping. And it doesn't take much, dog. It doesn't take much. You can go do a walk. Go spend some time walking. I promise you, man. Talk to yourself, man. Sometimes that's the best game, and just talk to God. God will answer you. God, I really need this, homie. Man, this will be right, man. And I'm doing the right thing, and just talk to him like a normal human being. He hears you. You ain't got to go through. When they tell you, you got to go through the pastor, man, the pastor ain't got his number. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got his number too, just as much as the pastor does. He answers both accordingly. So go talk to him directly and ask for your stuff. Ask for guidance, more importantly. What move should I make? Should it be a good move? Should I do this? Boom. We bought another fryer. We so confident in what we got to do. And we learning. We trying to figure it out too. But at the same time, it's just like my son going through getting scraped, getting that bloody nose, busted lip. He getting that over with a 7. You know what I'm saying? For real, he getting it over with a 7. And same thing with you. You got to get it over with at some time in your life too. And understand that God's still going to pull you through. And the lesson's way more important than the experience, homie. Trust me on that one. Experience is just that. But the lesson, what did I learn in that? I learned that I could take it and keep punching. I learned I could get my nose busted and still knock him out. I learned that I can get kicked in the ribs, but I got to protect my ribs. So these things that he's learning at the age of 7, somebody step to him when he's 13, it's going to be a different ball game because of the stuff that he's learning now. So I encourage you guys, you got to start learning now. You got to start figuring stuff out now. You got to put your head in the game now. When I talk about now, you ain't no tomorrow, ain't no guarantee. And you want your legacy to be, man, shit. Last time D was talking, he was doing exactly what he was supposed to be doing. Fulfilling his passion, fulfilling his dream, fulfilling his destiny. He wasn't playing around waiting on the boss to let me go do it. My ass, I did that for a few years, but I'm like, not anymore. My mental capability, my legacy is more important than satisfying something like that. And that's the thing, right? Because we're going to be tested. You're going to sit up there. I mean, as you're going for your dream, you're going to be tested beyond your imagination. And the closer that you get to achieving your dream and goal, the closer that you get, the more resistance you're going to get. It sucks ass because you're like, man, I'm getting closer and closer. It should start to get gravier and gravier. It should, but you're going to get a different kind of resistance, right? That's going to prepare you at the same time. That's the key right there, right? You don't know what preparation you're going through. Just like when I talk about my son. Oh, shit, it's just bruised ribs. No, it's not. It's protect your gut. Get your midsection strong. Get your core stronger. Watch out for the kick. Grab the leg. Sweep the body with the other leg. That's what it's teaching you. The bruised ribs are just the experience. So the setback, I've been through everything. Cars repo, you name it. Bill collectors. All that to get to this point where I understand business credit. I understand paying my bills on time. I understand all these things, and that's the only thing it was teaching me, right? We get too caught up in the experience. We get emotional about that because we take it personal. Oh, why am I going through this? Why ain't you going through it? What else you going to go through? How else you going to learn? How else you going to get better? It's levels to this shit. You can't pass level. My son, I'm playing Street Fighter 2. Got him on that Street Fighter, homie. Whoa, you already know that Street Fighter 2. But anyways, he understand that there's levels to that. The higher level you get, the harder it is. The last dude is putting mitts on you. Why? Because you're almost about to beat the game. So when you at that stage and at that level in life where you feel like, shit, I'm close, prepare for it, right? Keep your eyes on the prize, but also keep your eyes on your surroundings because it's coming. Sometimes he hits hard when you get close. I'm just telling you, the enemy's a strong cat, but you're stronger, right? And when you're in tune with God, when you connected with God in that universe, it delivers and protects, right? Delivers and protects. So yeah, the enemy may seem like it's going to be a threat. He may seem like he's vicious, but that's just some bark, right? That's that little punk ass dog you can't see through the gate, but sounds like he's really big. And when you see his chump ass, you like, oh, that's all you were. So that's the same thing, kind of how the enemy rocks as well. Sounds like he's going to do damage. You like, man, this blow's going to eliminate me. I thought that with the insurance. This is going to just kill me. Man, I got some other insurance. Man, I've been popping there since. Boop, boop. But at that time, it seemed devastating. It seemed like I couldn't come back from that. You feel me? So these things are going to happen. You know what I'm saying? And you got to have that mental fortitude. Angela Duckworth calls it grit, because you got to stick with stuff. I went through a lot of stuff in college. Getting my account frozen, child support, all kind of stuff. My son going crazy in school. Me trying to figure it out, just came home, not having the bag. That's a whole nother adjustment, homie. A mental adjustment, not having a bag anymore, not being able to call shots like you wanted to, having to deal with office politics and checks every 2 weeks when I'm used to being able to pick up my phone and making it pop. These are adjustments, homie. You know what I'm saying? But once you go through these things, like I said, prison, what it do? It trained us to be without and still be mentally strong, right? To program ourselves, right? In order to get ahead, because if you don't program yourself, everything else can penetrate. But once you program, I read, me and God cool. He said, man, it's going to be rough seas. Don't trip. I got you. It might get rocky, but we're going to rock through it. Once you get those confirmations from God and you start to see what you're doing, you straight. You understand that it's part of the process. You understand that this is part of the game. You understand that this is part of the destiny. It's not going to be easy. Who the hell said it was going to be easy, dog? I'm trying to figure out the easy street. You know them cats. Oh, the hack. Yeah, man, you can't hack this shit. This ain't hackable, homie. Right? You got to get down to it and mentally be strong. A lot of these cats tap out. They get the fan, they get the money, and they can't handle it. You got to understand it, right? Which is why we had bread at young ages, right? So that you can pull off a Jay-Z. He know what to do with his money now. He ain't new to money. He got it. He got his money in when he was hustling. Jay Prince, he ain't new to money. We all played with money at a young age and blew it. Both of them cats got I blew it stories. We all do. I fucked it off, dog. You know what I'm saying? And we all have similar stories. But it's that person, right? Like I told you guys, I'm going to take advice from somebody who had $1 million rather than somebody who hasn't. Somebody who lost $1 million. I want to talk to him because he knew how to get it. This another cat, 100,000. That's all he got. So he can't tell me $1 million conversation. You feel what I'm saying? So you got to be careful of who you let input. And say, yeah, hey, homie. Hey, the hustle withdrawal is real. It's real. It's realer than real, homie. Like it's one of those things that everybody experiences. And then you have homies that still in the game. You seeing, and they making it look easy, like they took your spot. Females ain't checking for you. None of that. Right? But it gets greater later. Trust and believe that, homie. When you got that legit flow cracking, you ain't got nobody to looking at, man. Ain't nobody. They can't even figure out how to rob you because they don't know if you got it or not. You feel what I'm saying? Do we got actual cash? I don't know, dog. You don't never wear jewelry or nothing. Right. I heard he got some pistols. Yeah, well, hear that they gonna bust too. But I'm speaking the real though. You know what I'm saying? Like they can't do the math on you. So it's gonna be greater later, trust me, homie. But it's hard. I get it. You're gonna have to do a lot of soul searching, player. It's like that, homie. But I promise you, dog, it's one of them things that if you stay committed to that change, you stay committed to leaving that game alone, God will bless you with the same stuff that you already know. He'll put you in a position that you can use that stuff, like to make you rich. Like, that's crazy. Like, he didn't just take us through this stuff just to take us through it. No. We all went through that game. We was chosen, homie. But drug dealers. Yeah, drug dealers is marketers now, homie. Learn about that shit. Go listen to Vincent Bragg. We flipped the script. Hov has started it. You know what I'm saying? Well, we can Jay Prince, all cast was hustling, flipped it. And everybody has their own heroes in their cities who flipped it, who said enough is enough. I can use my business acumen, my business experience with wholesale retail, with no marketing, understanding the supply chain, understanding price fluctuation. It's all street stuff, homie. It's all stuff that we got degrees in. That can't nobody get no degree in. You can't go sign up to be a D-boy. You liable to get your wig split. This is people that was chosen from youngsters, homie. My homie saw it along, like when this dude is different. He a different kind of cat. He into the money. Yeah, I ain't into all this other stuff they talking about. I'm into the bread, homie. Always have been. You can check my file. This has been since the 80s, dog. So when you know that you got a certain gift, God gonna give you the opportunity, homie. And that hustle withdrawal, that's definitely a fact. You'll get through it, homie. You just gotta have the right support system. Tap in every Monday with me, man. I already went through withdrawals, homie. You know what I'm saying? I can sponsor cats now. You feel me? Cats going through hustle withdrawals, tap in. I'm the sponsor of all sponsors. You know what I mean? Because I talk back, dog. And I tell you, I feel you. I've been there, done that. I understand, homie. Understand the cash withdrawal. But it comes back, though, homie. It comes back. You start to have that cash again. You be like, man, I don't want it. Put it in the bank. Give me the card. And I don't spend anything now, homie. I buy everything on credit card, pay the cash off. Just like that. I don't buy nothing with a debit card. A debit card is meaningless to me, homie. I buy everything. You take credit card because I'm trying to build my credit, dog. That's what I tell hustlers right now. You got cash, don't spend cash. Cash don't mean nothing but to a bunch of broke cash. What you need is a credit card. You need a credit card with a high limit or whatever limit you can afford. And whatever you buy, go pay it right off and build your credit. That's what time it is, homie. Cash, they told us the wrong thing. Man, have a stack of cash. Why? So these cash can rob you and there'll be no trace? Nah. Credit cards, homie. Period. No, I don't have any money, but I have credit. And the money that I do have, I'm paying my credit down. So the transaction went down and all it did was build me up. That's game right there, homie. Shout out to Ellis on that one, homie. Autodidact LLC. Check him out. .com. Autodidactllc.com. He'll show you. He got books on that stuff. I promise you. And it works. Next thing you know, you be getting discovered cards for 10 bands. Right. And then life becomes a little bit easier if you're talking about running a business. You can go get you a couple of this and that and this and that. Right. So we talking about, and this is all that again goes back to your mental state. If you don't believe you can do any of this stuff, you're right. But if you believe you can do this stuff, you're also right. So it all comes down to what you believe as an individual, right? What do you believe you're capable of? Because records have been broken. Destinies have been realized, dreams have been realized based on people's beliefs. That's it. Even when it came down to the point where failure happened, they still believed they can bounce back. Still believed it. All mental. I'm listening to this book right now called The Power of the Subconscious, and it talked about healing people. Right? Do you believe something? And that may be a little stretch, but at the same time, the power of belief is everything. Right? Because one of the things it told me off the top, it said doctors and people don't heal anything. Your body heals on its own, and that comes from your mental body. They may sew you up. They may give you this and this and this and that, but the healing comes from inside. Right? And I'm not discounting that. My wife's in the medical profession. Shout out to the homegirl, Tanisha, who's also a nurse. You know what I'm saying? But I'm saying the mental plays a part in it. You guys, that's why we had, what's the medicine called where that it's not real or whatever, like the sugar pill, because people believe certain things and the mind is strong, right? I told you guys about that in the past. Well, we knew police is going to get behind us. Mentally, we were thinking it up. Or mentally, we're going to run into the enemy at this liquor store. And guess who slides up? Every time. And once we start to realize the power of our mentals, how much we can control our life with just the sheer ability to think it up. Just thinking about things, we can control our life. Thinking things into existence, man. I need an Elko. Now, I ain't just saying it because I had El Camino, but man, I'm like, man, I need an Elko. Man. Damn, I'm looking for Elko. When I start riding around, guess what I'm gonna see? El Caminos. Placebo. Thank you, Tanisha. Thank you. Yes, the placebo. Yes. That's what I'm saying, though. You got whatever you focus on is going to expand. Whatever you focus on. So you might as well focus on the good, right? You might as well pray for something good to see if it works, right? Whether you really, really believe it deep down or not, why not? Give it a try. See if it can work. What else you going to do? But it starts with the thought process. And you are what you read, right? You got to read. So I'll show you guys, man. I'll show you guys the book. So I'm a contractor now, and I have several rental properties, commercial property in Memphis, and I have never been to a bank to borrow. Now, that's, hey, homie. Salute, homeboy. Salute. That's what I'm saying. You already own it. You already own it. But you already got your stuff kind of in order. You know what I'm saying? Not kind of. You got your stuff totally in order. And now you can eat off what you've already done. You know what I'm saying? Now you can eat off what you've done. Salute, homeboy. That's what I'm talking about, though. You got to have that kind of that flavor to be thinking like that. We weren't even thinking like that, man. That's what I'm saying. We was buying rims and shit. Stupid stuff. You know what I mean? We could have, as cheap as the property was, we could have owned half of the damn town. And we was buying Dayton's. and expensive bottles of like Patron when it was first. You know what I'm saying? Like misguided, homie. Totally misguided. Wrong. Like wrong. You feel me? When I went to jail, when we sat down, homie, I started reading. I read Maximo Maltz, Psycho-Cybernetics, which is all about mental. Right? I read the 4 Agreements. Right? I read The Power of Positive Thinking. I read The Magic of Thinking Big by David Schwartz. All these things that made me think enormous, that I could move to LA and I could do all this stuff. And I'm in LA doing all this stuff. And I'm not saying that to brag. I'm saying that this was all mental. I don't even have relatives out here besides my wife's relatives. That was it. I didn't have no family in LA. You know what I'm saying? My family was moving all over the place out of San Diego. I didn't know anybody here. This is all just gut and God, period. 2 G's, gut and God. That was all it was. And I got here. I'm landing here. I'm driving up and down Hollywood in a bus, a weed bus. The fuck? For real? You know what I'm saying? Like when you start to put that stuff in perspective, how? Mental. Thought it into existence. Talked about it enough. Believed in myself. The parts start just falling out the sky. I promise you. Man, the bus, everything just start falling out the sky because of my belief system. So are you guys going to change your belief system? Are you going to watch your mouth? I tell my son that all the time. Man, I can't. What? What you mean you can't? We don't say can't. We don't. What? That's not in our vocabulary, dog. That's not what we do. We're the can until we can't anymore. And we ain't saying we can. We just saying, hold on. Let me get back to it. But we're not quitting. We're not saying we can't. Nothing can defeat us but us ourselves. That's the only defeat we have. Is the one that says I quit. The ones that said I can't do it anymore. The ones that said it's too hard. It's too hard to change. It's too hard, man. It's just too much. It's too hard. Nah. Not when you smell your destiny. That's like smelling food around the corner. You smell it. You're like, oh, no. Nah, bruh. I'm not quitting now. I'm on some Acres of Diamonds shit. I know it's around that corner. All I got to do is mentally keep going, right? Because the body going to do what I tell it to do anyway. I just got to mentally keep going. Over and over, and you got to keep telling yourself, I just got to mentally keep going. I know this shit is hard. I know I want to sock this motherfucker in his mouth, but I got to mentally keep going. I know that's the enemy trying to test me and throw me off. And you got to have these conversations like you in a prize fight and you your own coach. Then you got to talk that shit to yourself so much you damn near all right, man. Let's get back up in there. And you go back up in there and you you muster the courage to keep going, because it's going to be rough and there's going to be nobody beside you cheering you on but your own coach internal. Because people ain't going to know how to cheer you on because they haven't reached that level of success yet. You feel what I'm saying? Oh yeah, Dale Carnegie, yes indeed. But the people around you, they don't know how to do it because they haven't done it. So it's not that they don't want to help you. They just haven't been to that part yet. They just haven't ran that far. They don't know how it is to finish the marathon. They haven't made it 20 miles. They only ran 10. So you're going to run out of people to talk to refer to. Like, damn, who do I look to your left? You're going to look to your right and be like, shit, ain't nobody here. And in that book, The Dream Giver, that's called A Wasteland. And you're like, man, you know you too far gone to look back and retreat. You're like, I'm not retreating. I'm already, but you ain't close enough to where anybody can advise you on how to keep going and how to make it. You know what I'm saying? This is how you keep going. So what you got to do in that time, you got to realize that you're the pioneer, right? That you're the pioneer. You're the ones that's setting the blaze that trail. You're the ones that's leaving the crumbs for the people to follow behind you. You're that person. So that should be motivation enough to keep going, that I'm leaving a trail for my homeboys and homegirls to show them that this is possible. My kids, for that much, are showing them that this is possible. This is possible, and here's how you keep going. My grandpa was a pioneer. He got this shit popping. He started off with chicken wings. Now we got a full throttle steakhouse. My grandfather started with chicken though, outside in Gardena. You know what I'm saying? So that's the kind of legacy you have to leave. And you got to believe that kind of stuff, that's going to happen. I know my kids and my grandkids going to run this and take it to the next level. And you write it into existence and they bring it up and see, look, our grandfather believed in us before we was even born. You damn right. I know who you are. I know how God looked out for us. Even when it seemed like there was a bunch of other stuff going on. God's still in the process. He's still in the miracle making business. Why don't we tap in with our mentors and ask for it? We got to see this stuff. Even that's the one thing about vision. You got to have it. So you got to go see some stuff to see what's possible. Talk to enough people to see what's possible. Hear enough stories to keep it going to see what's possible. You feel what I'm saying? Oh yeah, all hustle smart. That's why these are facts. They don't want you to influence, but look at Vincent Bragg. He tapped into that fed population and created an industry out of it, right? Created a business out of that. And that's the beauty, right? We're a threat, but at the same time, we're also a gift to us and our families, right? What we've learned, the game we learned, right? We could tell people, I could tell you how to get extras, homie, but I can also tell you how to get a DBA and an EIN. So I'll tell you which one's more valuable. This may seem immediately more valuable that you're about to get extras on this bird or whatever, but this EIN, this DBA, Dobbs number, all that stuff is going to have you set up for the rest of your life. And then have your kids eating and everything too, right? You do it right. So that's the stuff that I'm preaching now, homie, because we could teach 2 classes. We could teach classes on security, how to roll in and out your whatever, how to keep cats off you, how to spin off on cats, how to stay off the phone. We could talk all day about that shit. You know what I'm saying? The key now is showing how to use those same skills, same exact ones, not having to adjust them too much. Maybe you have to put a little coat of paint on them, but that's about it. And use those same skills and transfer them into the business world. Because the one thing that the business world doesn't have, are cats like us. What's up, homeboy? I'm trying to get you to show your stuff. All right now. So let's tap into our mentals, homies. You know what I'm saying? Let's tap into our mentals. Let's think better. Let's think stronger. Let's think smarter. And the tenacity is the key. Whoa, I didn't show you guys. Let me pull up book. For you guys. Let me see. And it's at Target for $5. So you guys, let me show you guys Target. Hold on. It is really good. I mean, really, really good. So let's see. Hold on. All right, let me show on stream. So you guys can see that. So you guys can see, let me boom in, zoom in a little bit. All right. Let me share so you guys can see a little bit. So this is a $6 buy, dog. Hold on, let me get to it. All right, let me close this out. All right. So y'all can see right here, yeah. So it also includes the bonus book, How to Attract Money. Heat. You think a lot of this stuff is corny. I know it seems corny. I know it seems like all these corny ass cats talking about the Bible doesn't. Man, it works. I promise you, just like when you like that. The magic eraser, how does it work? It works. How does electricity work? It works. And the power of your subconscious mind that talks about that, because the subconscious mind dictates a lot of your behavior. You don't realize the things that are having an impact on your subconscious mind, meaning the mind that's not aware that it's being affected, right? And that starts with negative talk, negative conversations, the wrong people, the wrong environment, all have an effect on your subconscious of what you can believe, right? So you talk to somebody in the neighborhood about starting a business, somebody who's lived in poverty, they may not even understand what you're talking about. You may go to a wealthy community and talk to somebody about business, and their parents may have had 2 or 3 businesses, so they have a deep understanding of how business works. They may even, in fact, already have a business. So the exposure is everything. That's why I'm exposing you guys to everything that I have. I'm not pulling punches and pulling ghetto tales out of, hey man, let's listen to Iceberg Slim or read Iceberg. You guys have read that shit. You understand how a pimp game works, but you may not understand what the pimp game is based on, and that's the power of your subconscious mind and how it affects you. So I'm gonna go ahead and tap out. Share with you guys my book suggestion for the week. I'm gonna need you guys to do me a solid, man. If you guys can, in fact, leave me a review, subscribe to the YouTube channel, as I got a lot of dope content on there. You guys got to go check out my old stuff. My old stuff is classic. Like when I was at the radio station, check a lot of that stuff out, man. Subscribe to your boy's channel. I'm trying to get it up. The numbers, I'm trying to get it up to 200. I'm only a few away. So if you guys can do that, subscribe to the YouTube channel, leave us a review on iTunes, man. Really, really helps us rank in iTunes as far as podcasts go. So I'm begging that. Other than that, I'll see you all next week on the weekly tap in. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you guys tapping in. Make sure you guys check your mentals, man. Your mentals is everything. It's going to take you to the top, because success is 99% mental. Tapping out.